Experiencing pain of any kind? Call a timeout and stop by the Healthiest You Chiropractic Center. There, Dr. Max or Dr. Stephanie will provide a top-tier adjustment. Then you'll unwind in their therapy room. Visit their website at www.thychiro.com or call 440-238-3338 and book an appointment today. The Healthiest You Chiropractic Center, keeping Strongsville pain-free since 2013. Looking to get in shape and join a great community? Look no further than CrossFit Strongsville. We offer classes taught by our amazing staff of coaches. If going solo is more your speed, stop in for our open gym hours. Visit our website at CrossFitStrongsville.com to learn more and view our schedule. Visit our new location at 12608 Alameda Drive in Strongsville. Strongsville CrossFit, you're worth it. You deserve to be healthier and happier. Matatanes Baseball is holding tryouts for their 10U to 13U teams and are looking for dedicated players ready to grow and compete. Join them on July 15th at 6:30 p.m. for their 10U tryouts at the Maplewood Baseball Field in Cleveland, or on July 16th at 5:30 p.m. for their 13U tryouts at the North Ridgeville High School Baseball Field. At Matatanes Baseball, they prioritize player development, helping athletes improve their skills, baseball IQ, and confidence on and off the field. Whether you're looking to elevate your game or take the next step in your baseball journey, another Sunday, another opportunity to crown some champions. Game number one of the day is a semifinal in the 15U division of the Zips Invite. It's Ohio Elite and Force Ohio up next on SmeeSports.
Yeah, thank you. I just want to say first, all glory to God. Without him, I am nothing.
Power the shove, Neighbor Nation, we will see you on Saturday afternoon. Riley Meister gets the point.
Back into left field. Say goodnight to that baseball.
This is another one. It's back to back jacks for KSU Tuscarawas. Needs a point, and it's alive. Hanson pushes it over. Unbelievable. We play on. It's blocked. We're tied. We're tied. Unbelievable.
From Skeeles Field on the campus of the University of Akron, we say good morning and welcome to SmeeSports coverage of day number 4 at the 2025 Zips Invite. Game number 1 of the day is a semifinal clash between the number 2 seed Ohio Elite and the number 3 seed Force Ohio. He's Ragazzo. I am Nathan Smee on the call for you this morning. Bright and early once again, and that might be stepping on some toes of our keys of the game. But Cam, excited to have you out for the first 3 games today, and barring some storms, excited to have a full 4-game slate today of some really good baseball here at a really good baseball facility.
Yeah, absolutely. Just slating up to, like you said, be a good 4 slate of games today. Obviously, you got the semifinal and the championships in both 15, 16U, and then you talked about a little bit just this great field on this Akron campus. Obviously, all turf. Ball's going to move a little bit quicker today, and we're going to roll into that with our keys to the game. I think number 1 key to the game, I mean, this is the 5th game that you are playing. If you're either team playing in this first game, it's got to go to pitching. I mean, what kind of pitching do you have left? What kind of pitching have you saved up for today? And if you go on to win this game, you still need maybe 1 or 2 more guys to try and get you to win that championship game. But obviously, this game is the one that they're looking forward to right now. You got to say, we have to win this game to get to the championship. But yeah, just like what pitchers are going to put you in a position to not only get you in to eat up those innings, but they got to throw strikes.
And then the other key to victory that I have for this one, and I feel like it could be even more important, wake up. You got to have energy. It is 8:30 in the morning on a Sunday. It is in the middle of summer break. You got to bring the energy from the first pitch all the way to the last today. If not, you're going to have a short-lived time here. At most, you have 2 games, maybe even 1. So you have to have that energy. It's 8:30 once again. The later teams will also have to have that same energy mindset as they will be playing in the heat opposed to the early stages of the morning. But we both played in these early tournament games, Cam, and it is brutal getting up early and having to go out there and giving, in some cases, 14 of your best innings.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm running off a calm 30 minutes of sleep. I hope hope the athletes are running off a little bit more sleep today, but excited to be here still.
And if they are not running on more sleep than 30 minutes, then goodness, this is going to be an interesting affair. First pitch of the game misses outside for ball 1, and we are off to the races at 8:28 a.m. On the mound today for Ohio Elite, it is Zach Filippelli. The 1-0 hit down the left field line, but foul. Count now 1-1. Leadoff hitter for Force today in this game, it is Bo Lanzalata. A couple of fanatical spellings in there, as we do have some longer names on this roster. But that is the beauty of these 15U games. You get to know these guys now so that once they are the stars of the game, it rolls off the tongue with ease. 1-1 misses for ball 2. Bo Lanzalata, wearing number 7, just played his freshman campaign for one of the best teams in the area, and albeit a title contender for next year, the Cuyahoga Valley Christian Academy Royals. 2-1 on the edge, now 2-2. And albeit he was not on the varsity roster, he does still have a good opportunity to get there next year. A lot of key vacancies coming up. We've talked about that a lot with the likes of Alex Mamoni and Connor McGow, who we've seen so far this summer, albeit in the last week. And speaking of Mamoni, we will see him again today in the final game of the day as Force Mancuso takes on T3 or the Wow Factor. And Cam, you've had a couple of run-ins with the Royals yourself.
Absolutely.
2 balls, 2 strikes, the counts on the leadoff hitter. The pitch upstairs for ball 3, and we are full. You talked about that pitching, having to have a good start. It's a good battle to begin. A couple of foul balls. He just needs that one pitch to really take himself to that next level. The payoff pitch, the next level is upstairs, and that is ball 4.
Yeah, just didn't finish all the way through those last 2. Kind of just left him upstairs, and obviously not what you want. Leadoff walk.
Getting that leadoff runner on, especially this early, is so important. And now that sets up this offense at a good spot with Charlie Brunner, the left fielder, stepping in for the first time today. And it is a good response from Filippelli, hitting the edge for strike 1. The pitching battle that we have today, it's Filippelli versus Mikan. An unusual yet very common high school battle, Padua and Ignatius. You hear those teams together, and you wouldn't think that they play each other, but pretty much every season, at least one or more of their organizations, whether it be freshman, JV, varsity, play each other.
Yeah, they seem to like scheduling each other.
Which is a really interesting concept. I'm trying to think of a good comparison. There really is not that good of a comparison to see that kind of level of team. You could say Holy Name CVCA, but that is now a conference game.
Yeah, now it's conference, so.
I would say the old as well, Holy Name Lake Catholic could be another good comparison, but doesn't really matter. As the runner goes, good throw. The tag is not in time. He is just in there. And that is a big stolen base.
Yeah, very good throw. Almost got him, and then kind of popped up right at the end and tagged just a little bit too high as the runner kind of just slid in under.
Still an excellent throw down from Jaden Pizzo. 2-1 the count on Charlie Brunner, the left fielder. He plays his high school ball for Avon out in Lorain County. The 2-1. Good drive into right field, but it will bounce off of the right fielder's glove. It is down in the corner, and that could see our first run of the game, but not quite. The lead runner holds up at third, and that will put 2 runners on, nobody out, and that sets up Isaac Lazar, the EH, in a tremendous spot.
Yeah, really good smash there to right field. Just on the line, right fielder unable to play it off that kind of, it was a weird kind of angle, kind of slicing away from him. And then runner at second was forced to hold up. Didn't know if he was going to catch it or not, so still ultimately a really good position here.
It is Lazar, the EH, a chance to strike first for force. And realistically, nobody out, and we've seen a lot of balls thrown so far. I don't know how aggressive you get here. Like, I think this is one that you play patiently, and if you are given a good pitch, then you attack. And with 2 balls to begin the at-bat, I think that is ever more the case. In the on-deck circle after Lazar, it is Jacob Mikan, the starting pitcher. An early opportunity for him to help out his own cause before he even steps out onto the mound. And that is a great feeling as a pitcher. And everything is pointing towards him having a bases loaded, nobody out situation in front of him. We talked about energy early on. We're not hearing either dugout too much, but the energy for Force slightly more present than OEB. 3-0 is going to hit the edge for strike 1. Good response from Filippelli, but I feel like that is more of a byproduct of the enlarged strike zone.
I would agree.
Has to bring his best here on this 3-1. Cannot get a second walk of the inning. And he will miss off the plate for ball 4. 2 walks and an error sandwiched in between. 3 batters up. All 3 reach. Bases loaded. And it is the starting pitcher, Mikan, with a chance to do some early damage. Jacob Mikan just finished up his freshman campaign for St. Ignatius, a guy who was on their JV squad. But just like every program, the underclassmen expected to step up in 2026. And a lot of it starts here. First pitch to Mikan on the outside edge. Hits for strike 1.
I feel like we're going to see that call a lot today, kind of just sitting on that outside part of the plate, but got to be able to cover over there, take it the other way.
It is a strike, as it is just on the edge of the plate. It doesn't matter if it's on the edge or right down the middle. A strike's a strike. And speaking of down the middle, there's a wave and a miss. Perfectly placed and got the chase. Now an 0-2 count here. If it was 0-1, I would say you try and bunt, but
I would go right back to the outside pitch, try and get him looking again.
The only danger is down the right field line. That could be an issue. But here's the 0-2. He does go outside, but well outside, and I do agree with that pitch call.
Yeah, I mean, I don't hate it if you got him the first time looking. It looks like the batter's kind of stepping out as he's swinging. So if you're trying to go the opposite way, you're probably most likely getting off the end of the bat, not hit too hard.
And if it does go down that first base side, you have to be ready to throw home. It's kind of a gather, step, throw, get that lead runner, and then the middle can go back to normal depth. They are at normal depth right now, as cutting off the run at home is not the main priority, but if they have a play, they're going to take it. 2-2 count, Filippelli's pitch. It is going to skip right, and the runner's going to stay put at third.
I thought for sure he was going to come home. I feel like that's prime opportunity.
Now, the only thing is you don't know how quick that relay is. It's a full count. If this is a walk, he comes home anyway. It's less risky. I see that part of it.
That is true, but from what I was always taught, see the down angle. You're supposed to be halfway down the line at third base. You see that ball skip away, you're pretty much jogging home, I mean, with that big of a lead.
A lot of wild cards thrown in. The payoff pitch. Chopped towards third. They should have a play at home. They do, and there is no play at 1, but they do get the lead runner for the first out, and that is what matters to this defense.
Yeah, very, very important first out for the defense, and then you kind of go back to that pass ball, and you're thinking about it in the back of your mind if they aren't able to score here. Double play ball could end this inning, and you got to feel that's not what you want.
And we've played in so many games throughout our careers. We've played in blowouts. We've played in close games. Anytime that you could score in the first inning, it really just takes a weight off of your shoulders. You come into a game, especially a game like this, a little bit jittery. You want to get those jitters out of the way early, and the best way to do so is getting on the board.
Exactly. You kind of give yourself, not necessarily the cushion, but you give yourself an early lead. That's kind of the pro of being able to hit first. If you can go out there and get an early lead, you kind of demoralize the other team. You put them down, really, and you say, all right, we're the top dogs. We already scored first. We need to go out there, and in the bottom, we need to go shut you down and really set us on the path to win this game.
Just to play devil's advocate here, would you say stopping a bases loaded, nobody out situation does more for momentum than scoring one run in the first?
I do. I mean, if they're able to come up with a double play here or just 2 consecutive outs, I think that's just super big, even after the kind of starting little fireworks here.
It is going to be Logan Ritchie coming in, and he will see a first pitch strike. We did see a powwow on the mound with Filippelli. More of a mind resets, but at the same time, it also gives him a second to kind of evaluate those first couple of at-bats. He can see what went wrong there, albeit one was an error, not against him. But he can see what went wrong and work from there. And a lot of that is going to be keeping his headspace right. These younger players, that is the biggest thing they have to adjust with their game. Bat speed on a swing is important. Pitch velo is important, but none of that matters without the proper headspace. And we've seen that so many times in the MLB with prospects like Danny Salazar. The 1-1 misses inside for ball 2. And I played with a couple of teammates myself that once the headspace is gone, the player who you see day to day is gone too.
Yeah,
and it really is heartbreaking. It really is. 2 balls, 1 strike to count on Ritchie. Swing and a miss there. Now 2-2. Hefty cut.
He's got to be careful about not coming set. That time it kind of looked like he just went straight all the way through.
And as a pitcher, that's where you can, especially at this level, set 1-1,000, 2-1,000, stride. You can't do that, especially if there's a base open, but you can here. 2-2 off the dish for ball 3, and once again, we are full. So many full counts to begin. Looking at Logan Ritchie, just finished up his freshman campaign at Nordonia. A lot of Macedonia area flair on this squad. So many nights, and that's not a bad thing. You have these guys from one area playing together for a long time. It builds that chemistry. The payoff pitch, fly ball popped into left field. It is going to be caught for out number 2, and everybody is going to stay put. Nice work out and left by Deutsch. And no surprise here in that last name, Cam, that Chase Deutsch has made a great play.
Absolutely. I mean, albeit it was kind of routine, but still, very, very big play here, still on the top of the first.
Now, if he came up just underneath it, not ready to throw, then you could test that. He has the fundamentals down, and a lot of that is, I'm sure, due to his brother Braden being a great mentor for him, and we've seen Braden a lot with OEB's 18U team. Fly ball now sent into right field. It is a chance for redemption in foul territory, and that is a big way to get redemption. The side is retired. That is Trahan out in right with one heck of a web gem.
Wow, what a play.
He missed one earlier in the frame, but it's not about how you start, it's about how you finish. And that is it beautifully on display. Unreal.
Wow, full extension, right? It probably would have ended up being a foul ball, but still, great effort there and great play. And I mean, you got to feel pretty good after that. I mean, even though, like you said, had the error that inning, comes away with that great play.
Bases loaded, nobody out. Fielder's choice, fly out to left, web gem in right. Inning is over. Ohio Elite's defense puts on a clinic. It's a shaky start, but the score remains 0-0, middle of 1 in Akron. Experiencing pain of any kind? Call a timeout and stop by the Healthiest You Chiropractic Center There, Dr. Max or Dr. Stephanie will provide a top-tier adjustment. Then you'll unwind in their therapy room. Visit their website at www.thychiro.com or call 440-238-3338 and book an appointment today. The Healthiest You Chiropractic Center, keeping Strongsville pain-free since 2013. Looking to get in shape and join a great community? Look no further than CrossFit Strongsville. We offer classes taught by our amazing staff of coaches. If going solo is more your speed, stop in for our open gym hours. Visit our website at CrossFitStrongsville.com to learn more and view our schedule. Visit our new location at 12608 Alameda Drive in Strongsville. Strongsville CrossFit, you're worth it. You deserve to be healthier and happier. Matatanes Baseball is holding tryouts for their 10U to 13U teams and are looking for dedicated players ready to grow and compete. Join them on July 15th at 6:30 p.m. for their 10U tryouts at the Maplewood Baseball Field in Cleveland, or on July 16th at 5:30 p.m. for their 13U tryouts at the North Ridgeville High School Baseball Field. At Matatanes Baseball, they prioritize player development, helping athletes improve their skills, baseball IQ, and confidence on and off the field. Whether you're looking to elevate your game or take the next step in your baseball journey, Matatanes is the place to be. First pitch of the bottom of the first is off the plate for ball one. Welcome back into Skeeles Field on the campus of the University of Akron. No score on SmeeSports. Top of the first inning, bases loaded, nobody out. OEB works out of it, and you can really say they have momentum right now.
Absolutely. I mean, even after giving up a couple early hits, couple of obviously bases loaded, but coming out of it, 0 runs. You got to feel pretty good. You got to try and get one on the board here.
Nice catch behind the dish by Alonzak on the foul tip. 1-2 the counts. It is Jack Breyer, the shortstop, stepping in to get things underway for OEB. The 1-2, going to miss off the dish, evening up the count. Jack Breyer just finished up his freshman campaign at Hoban. A very good year for the Knights as well. 2-2 on the inside corner. There is strike 3 looking for out number 1. And it is the Ignatius man, Jacob Mikan, getting the first strikeout of the game.
Working very quickly on the mound. I think if you're the batter, you got to try and mess up the rhythm, take a timeout here. Maybe not here, but like in the middle of the at-bat.
Now it is Chase Deutsch stepping in. First pitch, more inside on the dish. There's strike 1. I'm really liking how Mikan is working both the inside and the outside edges to perfection.
Absolutely. You got to find it, and he's found it here early, and he's got to live there all day.
Deutsch grounds that 1, 2 seconds, scooped up. Throw to 1 is true for out number 2. Nice throw from Jansen over at second. And it is a quick start to the bottom of the first inning. Now it is Breck Stacy, the second baseman, stepping in. Breck's wearing number 76, just finished up his freshman campaign at Hudson. And you look in the 2 and 3 slots, 2 explorers. That's very good to see for their future, as in talking to this OEB coaching staff, they are big fans of the top 4 guys in their order. They know what they can do, especially at the OHSAA level, and they know that next year is probably going to be at least 1 or 2 of these guys' breakout campaigns.
Absolutely. You kind of see it sprinkled in around the grounds every year. It's just kind of who's it going to be, and you hope it's your guys.
It's an 0-1 count. The pitch. Down low now, 1-1. But Ohio Elites as the number 2 seed. They got here during the final game. They were able to get a big win, moving up from 4-2. Without that tight win at the end, they would have missed out. But they are here as the 2 seed, and they've done a great job to get here, especially given that Forest was the 1 seed entering yesterday. But with 1 loss, they bumped down to the 3, and it was the Ohio Bison who took the 1 seed, and they play later on today at 10:45. 1-2 the count. The pitch. Fly ball sent into shallow center field. Lanzalata underneath it. He has it, and the side is retired. OEB goes in order in the bottom of the first inning. Through 1 at Skeeles Field. OEB 0, Force Ohio 0 your score. This is the 2025 Zips invite on SmeeSports in partnership with the 965 Midwest Challenge. Experiencing pain of any kind? Call a timeout and stop by the Healthiest You Chiropractic Center. There, Dr. Max or Dr. Stephanie will provide a top-tier adjustment. Then you'll unwind in their therapy room. Visit their website at www.thychiro.com or call 440-238-3338 and book an appointment today. The Healthiest You Chiropractic Center, keeping Strongsville pain-free since 2013. Looking to get in shape and join a great community? Look no further than CrossFit Strongsville. We offer classes taught by our amazing staff of coaches. If going solo is more your speed, stop in for our open gym hours. Visit our website at CrossFitStrongsville.com to learn more and view our schedule. Visit our new location at 12608 Alameda Drive in Strongsville. Strongsville CrossFit, you're worth it. You deserve to be healthier and happier. Top of two at Skeeles Field. No score on SmeeSports. Going back to the top of the first inning, a heartbreaking finish for the Force Ohio offense. How do you respond here in a new frame with that momentum kind of taken away from you?
Well, you kind of just got to do what you've been doing. I mean, obviously came out there, got a couple of base runners on, albeit with the error, but still gave yourself really good position to try and score in the first inning. Now you just got to try and do it all again.
7, 8, and 9 hitting this frame for Force Ohio. Lonzak, Soder, and Gallup. 1 ball, no strikes to count. The pitch is going to be on the outside edge as that one is brought in, and kind of similar to ones that we've seen so far today. Maybe a little bit more towards that lefty's batter's box, but still it catches the umpire's eye.
I feel like we're going to see that all day on that edge.
He goes right back there. Lonzak chops it up the middle. Throw to one is in time for out number 1. Good work on the mound by Philip Helly. Didn't have to move too much to catch up to that one, but still a nice pitcher fielding play.
Exactly. Love to see it. Just a big fan of PFPs.
Looking at this defense for Ohio Elite, it is Philip Helly on the mound, Pizzo behind the dish, Eberly at first, Stacy at second, Breyer at short. At third, it is Sharver. Deutsch in left, Wilson in center, and Trehan in right sets the defense. Both squads in this game batting 10 with an EH added in. Both pitchers are going to hit in this game, with Philip Helly for OEB leading off the bottom of the inning. Good drive into left field, but it is right there for out number 2. Good drive from Soder, but unfortunately for him, that was right to Deutsch.
Yeah, made some good contact, but like you said, right in left fielder Deutsch.
It's unfortunate when you have that great contact, but right to the defense. You know you're doing the right thing. You know you straighten it out. But just like in soccer, you can have the best shot of all time, but if it's right at the goalkeeper, not much you can do.
It doesn't matter.
2 up, 2 down, and that'll bring in George Gallup, the third baseman. First pitch off the plate for ball 1. In the bottom of the inning, it's Philip Helly, Peaton, and Pizzo for Ohio Elite, 4, 5, and 6. And they will look to get their first base runner of the game. Philip Helly's 1-0. Once again, outside edge, 1-1. And I feel like if you are the catchers, this is the time that you start setting up kind of in line with the other batter's box and frame in.
Yeah, try and steal one.
That would be very beneficial, just given how the umpire is calling the game.
And the same thing, I think if you're the hitter, you kind of, even though it's going to be uncomfortable, you got to kind of scooch closer to the plate, even though you're going to have those inside ones you may not like, but you got to protect that outside pitch.
It's not necessarily crowding the plate. I mean, it is.
It is, but when they're being called out there, you got to do all you can to protect it. I mean, really, if you get that opposite pitch, you got to shoot it to the opposite field.
And down that right field line, it is a dangerous spot. 2-1 upstairs for ball 3. We saw what happened with the error last inning where that ball just kind of shot off the glove against the wall. If it took one more deflection or rolled for an extra second, we would be talking about a 1-0 game. The 3-1 is once again on the outside edge, and we are full. He has to attack that outside edge here. Payoff pitch, needs a strike. That's the best of both worlds. You don't want to give him a freebie, but you need a strike.
Absolutely. I think you just got to try and do the same thing.
And I think Gallup is expecting it as well. The payoff pitch, it is on the outside, but it is too far outside. That is ball 4, and that'll give Force Ohio a 2-out base runner.
I think that's kind of what you see when you set up on that outer edge and then catcher reaches just a little bit across the body. But that's kind of the give and take when you set up out there. If it's right down the middle, you're able to bring it in just a little bit, maybe steal that extra couple inches of the strike. But when you reach across your body like that and extend a little bit, I feel like that's probably going to be called a ball most times.
And going back to my days as a catcher, something that I was taught later on in my career, you angle that outside foot, specifically your right, 45-degree angle, pretty much towards shortstop. It gives you kind of a block off of those outside pitches. It looks more head-on, and a lot of the time that does give you an extra strike call, especially with a generous umpire on the outside edge. I've done that a lot of times, and for the most part, it worked out. It does get rid of that cross-body stretch.
Yes.
And a lot of the time when the umpire sees that, you'll get a sarcastic, nice try catch. Because I've had that a number of times in my career. I think we know which umpire did it as well.
Yeah.
We had him a couple of times
Yeah.
freshman year, and that was always an interesting one. Being told you could not frame, that was the best part of that one.
Yeah.
2-0 count on Kyle Saul, the number 10 hitter here for Force Ohio. And it'll be ball 3. In the on-deck circle, it is Lanzalotta, the center fielder. That would bring us back to the top of the order, and Force Ohio, they want redemption at the top. Filippelli has to have this one. And he does for strike 1. But I would say a good battle so far. OEB's offense doing less than Force's, but the defense, with pressure put on them, they're getting things done, and especially if they make it to the championship game, that is big.
Big strike 2 right there.
From 3-0 to full, great battle by Filippelli. Does he go for that outside edge again?
I would do it.
Here's the payoff pitch. Runner goes to the outside. This time he gets the call, and the side is retired. Was there really a doubt he was going to attack it again?
I don't think so, and for good reason, too.
That is his first strikeout of the game, and the inning is over. A beauty on the outside edge. And once again, Force's offense is silenced. Middle of 2 at Skeeles Field. Ohio Elite 0. Force Ohio 0, your score on SmeeSports. Matatanes Baseball is holding tryouts for their 10U to 13U teams and are looking for dedicated players ready to grow and compete. Join them on July 15th at 6:30 p.m. for their 10U tryouts at the Maplewood Baseball Field in Cleveland, or on July 16th at 5:30 p.m. for their 13U tryouts at the North Ridgeville High School Baseball Field. At Matatanes Baseball, they prioritize player development, helping athletes improve their skills, baseball IQ, and confidence on and off the field. Whether you're looking to elevate your game or take the next step in your baseball journey, Matatanes is the place to be. Experiencing pain of any kind? Call a timeout and stop by the Healthiest You Chiropractic Center. There, Dr. Max or Dr. Stephanie will provide a top-tier adjustment. Then you'll unwind in their therapy room. Visit their website at www.thychiro.com or call 440-238-3338 and book an appointment today. The Healthiest You Chiropractic Center, keeping Strongsville pain-free since 2013. Four, 5, and 6 hitting for Ohio Elite in the bottom of the second inning. No score so far on SmeeSports. Once again, going back to the top of the first inning, the best chance we've seen so far, but that might be set to change. Good drive deep to right. It is down for extra bases. Filippelli cruising on into second base, and he is going to pump the brakes there.
Talk about best opportunity. Here it is on display.
Absolutely. Big crank to right field. Just gets down in that corner over there.
What I was going to say is the top of the first was the best opportunity we've seen so far. Now, early runner in scoring position, a lot of room to roam, and now you also have a courtesy runner in. You have speed out there, and you have your leadoff spark. That is a big swing from Filippelli, setting up Maddox Peeton, the EH. First pitch off the edge for ball one. But what a start to the bottom of the second inning for OEB. They needed a big swing, and there it is. The 1-0 hits the inside edge, now 1-1.
If you get one of these outside fastballs, you got to try and take it through that first and second base hole. I mean, just a big hole, second baseman's covering. If you could just shoot one the other way, give yourself an opportunity to score.
And Cam, believe it or not, that double was the first hit of the game. Everything else was free passes. Bunch of walks and then an error. 4 base runners for Force Ohio, albeit one of them was a fielder's choice. 1 for Ohio Elite, and that was the hit. It doesn't seem like a legit stat, but that's what's going on in this game. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Peeton. Throw back to second. It's going to bounce off the bag, but not into the outfield. A lucky break for Force's defense.
Yeah, I think if that goes any bit farther, takes just a little bit of a worse bounce. Runner takes off for third, but like you said, really lucky it didn't go too far.
In the on-deck circle, it is Jaden Pitzo, the catcher. The 1-2 hits him. It's a hard 90 for Peeton. And something to note here about Maddox Peeton, you look at the rest of this squad, you have some Stark County with Jackson, you have a lot of Cleveland area, Hudson, US, Hoban, NDCL, which is still more on the east side, and then you have Hubbard, where he's from. A lot further out, but so far he is gelling with the squad, albeit in one at-bat, and one that he'll have to wear some ice afterward. But now Pitzo comes in, 2 on, nobody out, and a chance for Ohio Elite to strike first. They show bunt. It's a double steal. They will get the lead runner. No! They called him safe. I think that was clearly out.
Wow.
That is a bold decision. Cam, I don't think that the hand even got there before he was tagged.
I thought he was out for sure.
I think we both called it out there for a reason as, oh, wow, on the replay, I think that one's pretty clear.
I don't know. Yeah, I just, yeah.
What a break. And now OEB's opening run, which looked to be erased, stands 90 feet away. And now it is Force Ohio looking to have a big inning and a ball don't lie moment. Some controversy early on in this game, but that's what you expect. And now the bases are loaded. It is back-to-back hard 90s. And that brings up Sharver. Wouldn't be surprised to see time called by the coach of Force. Instead, it is going to be Lonzak going to talk to his pitcher. But what a chain of events here. I don't want to play the if this happened then that happened, as that's hypothetical land, but that out at third, I don't know if he gets frazzled and hits him.
Yeah, but in the same sense, he could just be released it a little bit too early and hits him.
It's a tough spot to be in right now for this defense. But Ohio Elite 1 knock away from taking the early lead. First pitch on the outside edge, hits for strike 1.
You got to remember to cover home if you pass ball here.
We've seen 1 today and no action. The 0-1 misses off the dish. I think that one may be not high enough.
Similar, very similar pitch.
I think just a little bit too low. That's my best guess. 1-1 carries him off for ball 2. After Sharver, it is Eberly, then Trehan. But a great spot for Ohio Elite. Nobody out. Opening run 90 feet away. And now time called behind the dish. Sharver just finished up his freshman year for Chagrin Falls. Almost a pass ball there. Good stop by Lonzak on the backhand. But 3-1. 1 ball, and we see an early lead for Ohio Elite. And they need that after getting the momentum back in that top of the first inning. Mikan has to have it here. The 3-1. It is on the edge for strike two, and we are full. Getting a strikeout here would be massive for this Force Ohio defense. Or even a ground ball right up the middle where you can get that force at home. Here's the payoff pitch. It is there for strike three looking, and out number one has been recorded. 3 strikeouts combined today, all of which are looking. 2 of them on the outside and then 1 on the inside. And now that brings up Eberle. Double play ends the inning. First pitch is going to be inside for ball 1. But Dominic Eberle, the freshman first baseman, just finished up his first year at NDCL. And the Lions have a lot of promise entering 2026 for baseball. Well-coached group from top to bottom. Their underclassmen teams were excellent this past season. Ground ball up the middle. This could be trouble. They will get the out at 2, but not at 1, and the opening run will score. Ohio Elite able to push one across, and they have an early lead to show for it.
Yeah, a little bobble there by the second baseman. Unable to turn the double play, but still able to get 1 out on that. So fielder's choice is going to net him a run.
And now that'll bring in Zach Trehan. Already one big play in this game. That was the web gem out and right. Now a chance to bring that momentum to the plate. Keep in mind, Force Ohio, if this were to be the last batter they face of the inning, a batter ahead, but down by a run. Keep in mind, both teams batting 10. We usually do see that. Some teams batting 9, some batting 11. Some teams, I believe one team specifically, batted 13. Runner goes. It bounces wide of Lonzak, and that'll make it 2-0 Ohio Elite. That is why you have to read the down angle. And that is a big, big swing for Ohio Elite. Taking a 1-run lead is one thing, but getting momentum with a cushion is another.
Absolutely, and still an opportunity for more.
2 balls, 1 strike. First a look back over to second base. No throw, as I would have been surprised to see one. Especially the last one hit off of the bag. You don't want to have that happen here. Likens 2-1. Flown foul towards the soccer field. In the on-deck circle, it is Kyle Wilson. And Wilson has some late season pedigree in his back pocket as he played for US this past season. They made it all the way to the state championship. 2-2, swing and a miss, and the side is retired. Strikeout number 3 of the game from Mikan retires the side and ends the second inning. Still 2-run score for Ohio Elite. Some good base running, some controversy, everything you want to see in a baseball game that has plenty of implications in a tournament setting. Through 2 in Akron, it is Ohio Elite, the 2 seed, up by 2. Looking to get in shape and join a great community? Look no further than CrossFit Strongsville. We offer classes taught by our amazing staff of coaches. If going solo is more your speed, stop in for our open gym hours. Visit our website at CrossFitStrongsville.com to learn more and view our schedule. Visit our new location at 12608 Alameda Drive in Strongsville. Strongsville CrossFit, you're worth it. You deserve to be healthier and happier. Matatanes Baseball is holding tryouts for their 10U to 13U teams and are looking for dedicated players ready to grow and compete. Join them on July 15th at 6:30 p.m. for their 10U tryouts at the Maplewood Baseball Field in Cleveland, or on July 16th at 5:30 p.m. for their 13U tryouts at the North Ridgeville High School Baseball Field. At Matatanes Baseball, they prioritize player development, helping athletes improve their skills, baseball IQ, and confidence on and off the field. Whether you're looking to elevate your game or take the next step in your baseball journey, Matatanes is the place to be. Top of the third inning at Skeeles Field, making good time so far and a good game to show for it. 2-0 your score. Ohio Elite on top of Force Ohio in this semifinal elimination game. The winner will take on Ohio Bison in the 10:45 time slot for the 15U championship of this year's Zips Invite. Should be a fun game upcoming as we have a lot of out-of-towners for that game, and we'll see how they play up against Cleveland's best. Fly ball sent foul towards the left side and out of play. It is Lanzalotta, Brunner, and Lazar for Force to hit this inning. 1, 2, and 3. The top of the order last time up, all reached, and they want to do that again here. And they need to. Down early on in this game, they had an opportunity to take that early lead, just couldn't convert. The 1-1 hits him. Lanzalotta, his second free pass of the game. This one a little bit more painful than the first. But at the same time, that could be something that wakes him up just a little bit more. Nothing wakes somebody up more than getting hit by a baseball. Specifically, a player, not a fan. Now Charlie Brunner, the left fielder, steps in. He reached on a two-base error in right his last time up. And if you add on the runner to the two-base error, it would be a technically four-base error. I don't know if you want to call it that way, as the runner at first moved to third and the runner who should have been out moved up to second. You could call it that way on paper. Doesn't really matter as neither of the runs scored. But this game for Force Ohio, it is a must-win contest. Albeit he's not here, one of their former players now playing for this OEB squad. And that was a big move. Just happened this week. 2 tournaments left to go. They make the change. And I think that kind of brings up a good argument and conversation for travel baseball, especially tournament teams. At what point do you limit those kind of transfers during the season along with guest players?
Yeah, kind of a interesting thing to happen. Yeah, it's kind of just got to be brought up in discussions. Probably got to be talked about a lot just in between the players and all the leagues and associations. Just kind of a weird little quirk that happens occasionally. You don't see it a lot happening, but obviously it does happen.
I feel like you should have a limit of how many guest players you can bring in. Maybe 3 PO slots and 2 position player slots. You have 5 guys that you can bring in. You can take somebody off the roster once and bring them back in, and then they're unable to be used again. It could be kind of like that. There's a lot of nuances, but I also would like to see a kind of a league setting added on. You have all these tournaments. As a ground ball is hit towards second, we will resume that thought in a moment. They will get the lead runner at second, but not the trail. 1 down. But going back to my thought, end of the season, maybe extend the year 1 more week into August, and you have a league championship where the top tournament teams, you have certain tournaments count for the brackets. Maybe you take a pool of 10 to 15 different ones. Top records make it, and you play tournament style there. You can have a couple different regions, and they play, and the top 2 make it for a Final Four. I feel like that would actually elevate the play in some of these tournaments, as you wouldn't have teams that play well in pool play and then give up in the championship round. Wave and a miss 0-1. And I think a lot of teams do that, especially because the majority of scouts that show up do come during pool play. It's more of a guarantee to see the best players at their best.
Yeah, especially when you start throwing your ace game 1.
And that's what usually every single team does. Some teams do not. Some teams like to save their ace. But for the most part in tournament play, you bring your big guy out early. Swing and a miss. Runner goes. Throw down is high. And the tag is late. That'll be a stolen base for Brunner. Isaac Lazar 0-for-0 in this game with a walk, trying to bring him in. But that is an interesting conversation to have, especially as we start to see more and more of these tournaments pop up. And more teams as well. That's a whole other conversation.
Absolutely.
So many different teams at each age level. Runner at second, 1 down. The pitch upstairs. And I think for the first time today, we're starting to hear the dugouts get in it. And that's good. You have to have that energy from the start to the end. They didn't have it at the start, but you have to start now. The pitch sails upstairs, and there it is again. Momentum, it is kind of a big give and take at this level, especially in tournament play. But you got to have it early on in this game. We saw it with force early. They couldn't get the runs home. OEB took advantage of the second and scored the opening 2 of the game. Now it starts to seem like the pitchers are losing their I don't want to say touch, but like kind of losing their competitive edge. They were dominating early on. They had that slight advantage. But now this seems to be a hitter's game. Not even that, more of a runner's game as they're getting on free.
Sometimes it's just all about patience.
Once again, I'll throw it out there. 1 hit today, combined. Still a good opportunity for Force to strike for the first time in this game. The pitch. Runs inside, almost hits him. In the on-deck circle after Lazar, it is Mikan. So a chance for the starting pitcher of Force to get some redemption. 3 balls, 1 strike. The pitch. Well off the dish for ball 4. And it is another free pass. So many in this game so far. 4 walks surrendered. And as well, 1 hit by a pitch and a couple of fielder's choices. 2 on, 1 down. Mikan back in. He grounded into a fielder's choice his last time up. Has to be careful here with 2 on and a double play ball potentially ending the inning. First pitch backs him out, but it is on the inside edge for strike 1. If it's close and you back out like that, 9 times out of 10, you're going to get that call against you.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's tough to stay in, but you have to be able to be patient in there. Once again, not easy. It's kind of an acquired skill, but you have to have it. That is going to be a pass ball, putting 2 runners in scoring position. And even more so, Force Ohio has a prime opportunity to tie this one up.
And takes away the traditional double play.
We have seen a number of crazy 9-3, 8-5, 8-6-5. Those kind of double plays.
That's why I said traditional.
So many different double plays, and we've seen so many crazy putouts this summer. Nothing would be out of the ordinary at this point. I believe it was Thursday we had a 1-5-3 putouts. The one part of it was because the ball ricocheted off of his calf.
Oh.
Third base got it through to 1, and there was your putout. But 1 is added on because it did touch him. Popped foul on the 2-1. Now 2-2 the counts. After Mike, it is Richie, then Jansen. Winner of this game takes on the Ohio Bison at 10:45 in the 15U championship game. Make sure to stay with us for that one. Time now called in the box before the 2-2. Looking ahead for Ohio Elite in the bottom of the inning, it's Wilson, Breyer, and Deutsch, 10-1 and 2, set to swing. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Some disagreement between the battery, and time is called. Filippelli not agreeing with his catcher Pizzo. And we'll see what they agree upon here for the 2-2. Well over, it is wide right, and that'll bring in the opening run of the game for Force. Not a pass ball in the traditional sense. That time it's airmail.
2 pass balls, 2 free bases, and a run scored, and opportunity, like you said before, tie this game up.
Tying run 90 feet away. Anything in play deep enough should do the trick. Here comes the payoff pitch. It is upstairs for ball 4, and that will place runners at the corners with 1 down. And that sets up Logan Ritchie, the shortstop. Time called by Ohio Elite. This is not going to be their first mound visit of the game. And there is somebody on the edge of the dugout. This could be the call to the bullpen. We'll see the body language here. The main thing we're looking for is the extension of the hand to take the baseball, and we haven't seen it yet, and I don't think we will.
Yeah, usually you see it earlier often in the discussion, so.
We'll see what they end up doing. Your thoughts on if they should make the change?
I don't think they should. Not just yet. Maybe after another walk or two. But I mean, you kind of just got to go out there and try and settle him down. I mean, like you said before, it looked pretty dominant through the first couple of innings, and then now kind of just getting away from him, especially with those 2 pass balls. Kind of just got to go out there and, as best as you can, try and settle him down, trying to get him to refocus back on just throwing strikes.
It appeared to be Beckett Sullivan waiting on the edge of the dugout for Ohio Elite. I would assume that means he would be the man to come on. But only time will tell. They throw back to 1. That's a bold move.
Just got to be heads up if you're the first baseman.
I don't know if that is what they talked about. It definitely could be. But a pass ball there and you're tied. Pass ball behind the dish, okay, you live with it. Pass ball on the diamond? I don't think so. Once again, they throw back, and the runner over at third, he's doing the right thing. Lazar getting that extra couple step head start. If the ball is away, he's going. And I think they're learning from the last time that happened where they didn't take advantage. And right now, that 1 run is the difference, but that could change here. Third throw back to first. As we have a nice game of catch between the pitcher and the first baseman. Just to remind all the viewers at home, the time limit is 2 hours. Not that all the throwbacks are going to take us to that time limit, just going to put that out there as we are nearing the 45-minute to 1 hour mark of the game. Fourth time, same results. How many more times do we see it?
I hope he throws a pitch. So I hope 0.
Well, we'll see. Once again, if they do just take a knee here and throw that for the rest of the game. I don't think there's any rule that they can't do that, but I feel like that would be one interesting way to go out. And there's the pitch. Runner will go. It's a strike. Throwdown is cut off. And that will put 2 runners in scoring position. Glad to see finally a pitch. But I don't hate it. It kept them honest. It almost gave them a play at second base, even with the cutoff. I feel like if that was a traditional throw down, he would have been out. But that's not the time to do it. The runner would have taken home, and that would have been an easy way to score. And this could be 2. Fly ball center right, but it is down foul. He dove for the ball, but I kind of think that was the right decision that you don't do that. But kind of an interesting choice there. We'll see what they end up doing here. But first, it appears the player out in right is injured. So we will step aside here on SmeeSports. 2-1 your score. Injury timeout. The injured player out and right appears to be okay. A scary play out there where he kind of, I think, collided with the wall. An awkward slide, but glad to see that he is okay. First pitch after the timeout is sent into center field. Shallowly hit. It is going to drop, and we are tied at 2. Beautiful hitting from Logan Ritchie as he brings in a tying run on an RBI single, and that is the first base hit of the game for Force.
1 hit by each team, but we are tied 2-2.
What a weird game so far, but it's a great one.
Absolutely, yeah. It's been very, very fun, and good chance here for even more.
This is what you love to see in these elimination games. Gutsy performances from both sides. They're doing a little bit extra to get the job done, and that leads us to a great affair. Chase Jansen, the second baseman, steps in, an opportunity to put Force Ohio on top. Runner goes, grounded down the third base line, throw home in time, and that will put 2 runners on, but with 2 down.
Very good play by the third baseman. That was probably his only play, is going home.
And I agree, that would have been a tough play. He did play that one over the bag. There's a chance it would have gone foul if he let it go. But I feel like getting that out at home is well worth it.
Absolutely.
And now that'll bring in Grant Lonzak, the catcher. 0 for 1 in this game as he chops out to the pitcher. Lonzak drives that one into left field, but it will be caught and the side is retired. Another great catch out and left by Chase Deutsch, and the inning is over. Force Ohio able to tie the game up. Some keen base running and some good hitting. Well, one good hit, as that is all they have in this game, but it is more than enough to tie this one up. Middle of 3 in Akron. Honors even at 2 on SmeeSports. Experiencing pain of any kind? Call a timeout and stop by the Healthiest You Chiropractic Center. There, Dr. Max or Dr. Stephanie will provide a top-tier adjustment. Then you'll unwind in their therapy room. Visit their website at www.thychiro.com or call 440-238-3338 and book an appointment today. The Healthiest You Chiropractic Center, keeping Strongsville pain-free since 2013. Looking to get in shape and join a great community? Look no further than CrossFit Strongsville. We offer classes taught by our amazing staff of coaches. If going solo is more your speed, stop in for our open gym hours. Visit our website at CrossFitStrongsville.com to learn more and view our schedule. Visit our new location at 12608 Alameda Drive in Strongsville. Strongsville CrossFit, you're worth it. You deserve to be healthier and happier. Matatanes Baseball is holding tryouts for their 10U to 13U teams and are looking for dedicated players ready to grow and compete. Join them on July 15th at 6:30 p.m. for their 10U tryouts at the Maplewood Baseball Field in Cleveland, or on July 16th at 5:30 p.m. for their 13U tryouts at the North Ridgeville High School Baseball Field. At Matatanes Baseball, they prioritize player development, helping athletes improve their skills, baseball IQ, and confidence on and off the field. Whether you're looking to elevate your game or take the next step in your baseball journey, Matatanes is the place to be. Ohio Elite's offense looking to respond in the bottom of the third inning. 2-2 your score, and the first pitch of the inning is a hard 90. An easy base for Kyle Wilson. Talk about a good, momentous start to an inning. Leadoff man aboard with a little bit of pain added on.
I think he'll take that on Need of the Week.
That is now the third hit by a pitch surrendered by Mike in this game. 4th combined. Runner will go immediately. Bunt pulled back. It is inside. Throwdown is going to be a tad late on that hop. And the go-ahead run now is in scoring position. If that would have been a cleaner hop down to second base, that would have been out number 1. But I like this aggressive style from OEB. They're not waiting. They're attacking immediately. Ground ball right side. Picked up at first. Nice snag. Throw to 1 is going to be a little bit late. And that is going to put runners at the corners. Breyer able to win the foot race.
Really, really close play at first. Good play by the first baseman. Pitcher just a titch late coming over to cover.
Soder did everything he could to get that ball out in time. Having to range over the second baseman, he really didn't have that best angle. You see him kind of curl off at the end. Not his fault. Sometimes the ball is just perfectly placed. Now Deutsch steps in. Almost a scary play over at first base as he was a little bit slow to get back. And now looking over in the bullpen for Ohio Elite, there is some action. We will see if that action does become anything concrete on the diamond. Deutsch showing bunt again. Third base is going to crash, and it's a balk. Wow. And that is how Ohio Elite is going to take back their lead.
I didn't think the runner at third knew.
I don't think he expected it, but he'll take it. Very similar to what we saw back, I believe, in the NCAA tournament with Daniel Tome. He showed bunt a couple of times, moved the runner along, and didn't even make contact. I think he moved it from first to home, showing bunt 3 times and not even laying anything down. And then I think he reached on a single as well. Deutsch fouls that one away to the right side. But Ohio Elite getting this 3-2 lead. But I think given how this game has gone, that is not at all a surprise. We've seen some very interesting ways to get runners on today. 2-1 off the dish, now 3-1. After Deutsch, it is Breck Stacy. And oh, look, there is the Goodyear blimp flying right over us here at Akron. 3 balls, 1 strike. The pitch. Deutsch fouls that one off. Mentioned it on Thursday, but Akron, I believe, still is the rubber capital of the United States or even the world. Keep in mind, Akron's old football field used to be the Rubber Bowl, not where InfoCision is now, but it is off campus, and unfortunately, the remains have been demolished completely. But in its day, one of the best football stadiums around. Payoff pitch, chopped weakly up the middle to second base. Throw to 1 is just in time. Deutsch can't get there. It is going to be an out. And that is the first one of the frame. But still, it moves up an insurance run into a very good spot at third. Now, Breck Stacy has a chance to bring that run in. But I think this is the first time that a broadcast of ours has intercepted the Goodyear blimp. Always time for a first. Stacy hits that one too short. Throw to 1 is in time for out number 2. But that out comes at a cost. It comes at the cost of an insurance run. 4-2 the score, but the bases are cleared.
I've had a couple broadcasts. Planes, for sure. I believe a train a couple of times.
Victory Park.
Yes, and then helicopters as well. There was one helicopter that was doing, I think they were doing flight laps around the AAA stadium. When BW played Capital down there, and it just kept coming back and back and back, and it was really weird.
Well, if that's what they want to do, then be my guest. 0-1 the count on Filippelli. He doubled his first time up. He will hit that one up the middle, and it is going to sneak through into center field. It is a 2-out single for the pitcher. Hit number 3 of the game. Only 2 have exited the infield for Ohio Elite. You can probably guess who those 2 came from. The other one was that infield single. I'm going to call it an infield single. It took the first baseman off the bag. Throw was late. Nobody was there. I would say that's a hit.
I would agree.
And now that'll bring in Maddox Peaton. Peaton reached on a hard 90 his first time up. In the top of the 4th inning for Force Ohio, it is Soder, Gallup, and Saul, 8, 9, and 10. The 1-0. Driven into right field, down the line. It is going to fall and bounce towards the wall. Now it is going to the wall on an error out and right, and that is going to bring in run number 5. In the meantime, Peaton, he is in at third, and he is going to hold up there. Big swing from Peaton, and he gets the job done. It is going to go down as a single and a 2-base error, as it was on that transfer that he lost the ball into the corner. But this Ohio Elite offense, they are not done yet, and they want a little bit more. First pitch to Pizzo is inside for ball 1. But I feel like that is a big momentum swinging hit. Biggest lead we've seen of the day. And that could be enough to hold on to it for the rest of the game. But obviously they want a little bit more. They want a little bit of extra security. And this might be that security. It is a pass ball, and that'll bring in the 6th run of the game, 4th of the inning. Excellent work reading that down angle as just skipped away from the catcher. A couple of the Ohio Bison players have been here since this game got underway about an hour ago. And I think right now they're starting to understand what they will have to face in Ohio Elite. Not a bad idea to scout your opponents. Now's the time to do it. And with a 4-run lead, Ohio Elite, they're starting to get their eyes set on that run rule if they can get there. Here comes the 3-1. It is going to be in there for strike 2, and we are full. Pizzo thought that was going to be ball 4, and I think he does have a case to make. 3 balls, 2 strikes. The payoff pitch sent foul over the netting. Usually at this facility, you'll hear a lot of loud bangs when the ball goes foul, but not as many as you would hear at John Carroll, given all the metal around, especially with the football field off to the right. Football field here, a lot less metal, and it is off to our left, but also shielded by a parking lot and a track. The payoff again, it is low for ball 4, and the inning will continue. What a frame for Ohio Elite. And we've seen Ohio Elite a number of times. We've seen, if my math is correct, now 4 of their organization's teams. We've seen Rundgren, Andrews, Giovanette here, and then one of the other 16U teams, not Andrews, but trying to think which one that is. The other 16U squad. Ground ball hit towards second. It is bobbled. Throw to 1 is in time, and the side is retired. But going back to the point I was making, this is what you expect to see from OEB game in and game out.
Absolutely.
End of 3 in Akron, and this game has changed. Ohio Elite plates 4. They lead by 4. 6-2 your score on the SmeeSports YouTube channel. Experiencing pain of any kind? Call a timeout and stop by the Healthiest You Chiropractic Center. There, Dr. Max or Dr. Stephanie will provide a top-tier adjustment. Then you'll unwind in their therapy room. Visit their website at www.thychiro.com or call 440-238-3338 and book an appointment today. The Healthiest You Chiropractic Center, keeping Strongsville pain-free since 2013. Looking to get in shape and join a great community? Look no further than CrossFit Strongsville. We offer classes taught by our amazing staff of coaches. If going solo is more your speed, stop in for our open gym hours. Visit our website at CrossFitStrongsville.com to learn more and view our schedule. Visit our new location at 12608 Alameda Drive in Strongsville. Strongsville CrossFit, you're worth it. You deserve to be healthier and happier. Three complete at Skeeles Field. Ohio Elite at long last has finally established a cushion of 6-2 in this game. Cam, what would it take for a comeback for Force Ohio? They had that early opportunity to get some damage done, but they just couldn't get anybody home.
I mean, you could say they got to have the big inning, but I think they kind of just got to claw back here and there. Got to try and get a couple runs.
High throw from short to first. It is in time on an excellent stretch for out number 1.
Thought we were going to see a Baltimore chop there.
Excellent throw from Jack Breyer over at short. And Breyer showing why he deserves some playing time for Archbishop Hoban.
Yeah, set the feet and got rid of it quickly. Good strike there.
And it's always tough to tell will these guys be varsity or JV guys next year. He might be a swing kind of guy. First half on JV, impresses, goes to varsity. Might not play all too much, but you never know. Hoban, unlike Ignatius, I don't want to say Ignatius doesn't bring up their underclassmen because they do, but I feel like Hoban gives a lot more opportunities for their young guys in comparison to Ignatius because there's so many guys at Ignatius and so many teams. Hoban, they have their guys, and we saw with Andrew Karhoff, he's a 3-time All-Ohio winner, meaning at least 3 years on varsity, and he's going to Ashland for a reason. But that's not something you usually see at Ignatius. It's usually a 2-year guy on varsity, and that's about it. rare occasions you see a 4-year guy. And that's really the case anywhere. You could say Luke Hudak for Holy Name could be a 4-year guy, but do you classify year 1? And you could say the same thing about Don Marchetta, who's suited for the playoffs, but do you count that? 1-1 in there for strike 2. It's really rare to see that happen. Basketball, I feel like it's the most likely to see it happen, and we've seen it a lot. And I think we're going to continue to see that happen. 1 ball, 2 strikes to count on Gallup. The pitch off the plate for ball 2. But these tournaments are a great opportunity to really put on a show for your team. I believe Hoban's head coach was here on Thursday seeing a lot of his players play, and that says a lot about that program, especially considering the fact they hosted the 15U. Albeit they did have to move out of it because of some field renovations, but they hosted that, but came here to look at some players. Still a 2-2 count on George Gallup. Gallup, wearing number 26, just finished up his freshman campaign out on the east side at Orange. Orange has a nice little team brewing that can be a competitor in the next couple of years. We saw Neal, who plays for the 16U Force Crew side. He had a couple of nice plays over at second base. He is a guy that looks to be an impact player in years to come out in Pepper Pike. Count still 2-2 on Gallup. Good battle here in the top of the 4th inning as we are nearing the halfway point. Inning-wise, time-wise, we are over the halfway point. We have until, I would say, when that meeting actually concluded, 10:25 to start a new inning. That is what I'm going to say the time limit, or the time to watch for the time limit is.
It's around there.
Game started at 8:28. It won't be at that point. They start the watch before the first pitch. So we'll see what they end up deciding if that does matter. The 2-2 driven down the right field line, and it is going to just eke foul. And I think they got it right.
Barely.
Very similar to what we saw from Jose Ramirez last night. Had a ball just hit on the line. It's a close one. We've seen a couple controversially go the other way. That one, I don't think there's any theatrics or controversy to add on. I think it's pretty much a clear-cut foul ball.
Yeah.
And I'll say the umpires have been good in this game. They had that one play over at third.
Yeah.
The zone has been interesting but consistent, and that's what matters. As long as it's consistent, that's what we care about. 2-2 up and in for ball 3, and we are full.
It's, like you said, it's probably been a little bit bigger than traditionally is, but like you said, been consistent for both sides, so you really can't get all too upset about it.
3 balls, 2 strikes. Here is the payoff pitch. Ground ball hit over towards third. The throw to 1 is in time for out number 2. Nice throw across from Sawyer Sharver. And at long last, that will retire Gallup. And he had one heck of a battle. Don't have the exact pitch count for that, but how many do you think that was? 10? 12?
Something like that. It was definitely up there.
2 up, 2 down, and that'll bring in Kyle Saul, the right fielder. Philip Helly still out on the mound, and I think just given that cushion, they're going to trust him for as long as they can. First pitch up high for ball 1. And if Ohio Elite can have another inning just like the last in the 4th inning, then they can really slam the door shut. And I feel like that has to be their goal here. If they leave the door open, they know what Force can do. Swing and a miss now, 1-1 the count. And speaking of the next game, stay with us as the winner of this contest takes on the Ohio Bison. 10:45 projected start time, but that could be altered due to this game ending early or ending late. But it should start, I would say, right around on time.
At least as of right now.
And that is the goal, considering the fact that at around 1 o'clock, storms are expected. If one has to happen, I think you complete the 15U, and if the 16U doesn't get done because of the storms, it's going to be unfortunate. At the same time, they could just bump it back to 3:15, 5:30, and go from there. Here's the 2-1. Upstairs, now 3-1. On Thursday, we did have storms. It did postpone the start of the last game, but the rain was supposed to come at 1, then 2:30, then it drizzled at 2:45. It finally came after it was supposed to be out of the area, so the rain in this area has been very hit or miss. 3-1. He's in there. A lot of the storms have just been hanging up high in Talmadge and in Cuyahoga Falls. And at least for now, it does look like the rain has been taken off. So knock on wood, that is a good sign. Potentially yesterday's uninvited and unexpected rain has taken that off the map.
But you never know. It's Ohio.
You always have to be Dick Goddard in this profession, ready to go and give the news and really the weather whenever you have the opportunity, and especially when it is relevant on a day like this, which, if it stays par for the course, should be one of the best days in July weather-wise, especially after yesterday's heat wave. If this can stay under like 82, 83 degrees, you're looking at, I would say, the nicest day so far in the month.
We got a nice cool breeze here and there.
3 balls, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. Ground ball hit towards short. Breyer scoops, throws to 1, and he has the out to retire the side. A longer inning, but it is a 1-2-3 frame, believe it or not. It felt like a really, really long half inning.
It really did. I feel like just long at-bats, but like you said, 3 up, 3 down.
Force Ohio trying to break down Ohio Elite's defense, but their resolve does not waver. Halfway through the game, heading into the bottom of the 4th inning, Ohio Elite's up 6-2 on Force. Matatanis Baseball is holding tryouts for their 10U to 13U teams and are looking for dedicated players ready to grow and compete. Join them on July 15th at 6:30 p.m. for their 10U tryouts at the Maplewood Baseball Field in Cleveland, or on July 16th at 5:30 p.m. for their 13U tryouts at the North Ridgeville High School Baseball Field. At Matatanis Baseball, they prioritize player development, helping athletes improve their skills, baseball IQ, and confidence on and off the field. Whether you're looking to elevate your game or take the next step in your baseball journey, Matatanis is the place to be. Experiencing pain of any kind? Call a timeout and stop by the Healthiest You Chiropractic Center. There, Dr. Max or Dr. Stephanie will provide a top-tier adjustment. Then you'll unwind in their therapy room. Visit their website at www.thychiro.com or call 440-238-3338 and book an appointment today. The Healthiest You Chiropractic Center, keeping Strongsville pain-free since 2013. Bottom 4 at Skeeles Field, and we have a hot start to the bottom of the inning. It is an extra base knock. Eberle cruising on into second base. He is going to touch, and he is going to stay put. What a start to the bottom of the 4th inning.
First pitch right into that right field corner, right down the line.
And that one was so quick, it had the ad still at the end of its runtime at the beginning of the replay. But it's a leadoff double for Eberle. Powerful swing. And that is a statement. This OEB squad, they are done waiting around. They've gotten a lot more aggressive. Bunt down on the second pitch of the inning. A chance to beat it out. Throw just in time for the opening out of the frame. But that'll move run number 7 90 feet closer to scoring. Good work from Trehan getting that bunt down, and on the transfer almost got through. And now back to the bottom we go with Wilson. First take of the inning is a strike, 0-1 the count. The difference right now between Force and Ohio Elite, Force is waiting for their pitch. Ohio Elite is making pitches become their pitch. And that is the big difference. And I feel like that aggression is going to really serve this OEB squad well, especially if they can solidify the win. Run rule might be kind of out of reach, but you never know. They do need to get one here to at least get a little bit closer. Wilson takes, and there is strike 3 for out number 2. So that does add a slight complication in there. Strikeout number 4 today for Mikan. And back to the top of the order we go with Jack Breyer, the shortstop. A strikeout looking and a single today for the lefty. Chops that one towards first, picks up at 1, side retired. Nice work by the defense as they have a very, very quick half inning.
Yeah, even with the hit sandwiched in there was quicker than the last half inning, even though they went up, three down.
Through 4 at Skeeles Field in the heart of Akron. It is the number 2 seed Ohio Elite up 6-2 on Force Ohio. This is the 2025 Zips Invite on SmeeSports in partnership with the 965 Midwest Challenge. Looking to get in shape and join a great community? Look no further than CrossFit Strongsville. We offer classes taught by our amazing staff of coaches. If going solo is more your speed, stop in for our open gym hours. Visit our website at CrossFitStrongsville.com to learn more and view our schedule. Visit our new location at 12608 Alameda Drive in Strongsville. Strongsville CrossFit, you're worth it. You deserve to be healthier and happier. Matatanes Baseball is holding tryouts for their 10U to 13U teams and are looking for dedicated players ready to grow and compete. Join them on July 15th at 6:30 p.m. for their 10U tryouts at the Maplewood Baseball Field in Cleveland, or on July 16th at 5:30 p.m. for their 13U tryouts at the North Ridgeville High School Baseball Field. At Matatanes Baseball, they prioritize player development, helping athletes improve their skills, baseball IQ, and confidence on and off the field. Whether you're looking to elevate your game or take the next step in your baseball journey, Matatanes is the place to be. Experiencing pain of any kind? Call a timeout and stop by the Healthiest You Chiropractic Center. There, Dr. Max or Dr. Stephanie will provide a top-tier adjustment. Then you'll unwind in their therapy room. Visit their website at www.thychiro.com or call 440-238-3338 and book an appointment today. The Healthiest You Chiropractic Center, keeping Strongsville pain-free since 2013. Time now for the call to the bullpen as we enter the top of the fifth inning. Zach Trehan, the right fielder, comes on to pitch for Ohio Elite, looking to nail down the win in the final couple of innings. It won't be a save opportunity as the lead is too large. Right now, after 4 innings, Filippelli, 1 strikeout, 2 runs allowed. He is in line for the win. Out in right field in his place is going to be Beckett Sullivan, the rising sophomore at Hudson. And I believe that means Filippelli is out of the game, and he is going to be just an EH hitting in place of Sullivan. But Sullivan could even come in and hit for him instead. We will see. But I think given how Filippelli has hit, he's going to stay in.
Most likely. But technically, I thought if you pitched 3 innings, if you pitches the 5th, the 6th, and the 7th, that counts as a save.
I think it does. You're right there. 2-1 in there, now 2-2. But in regards to the score right now, it's not a save.
That is true.
And we'll see if he stays in all 3.
That is true.
Or if we play all 3. Good chance we don't. Just depends on how this one ends up shaping out. 2-2. Popped weakly over towards the left side, but right into no man's land. If you're going to pop that one up on the infield, that's the best spot to put it, right in front of that dugout.
Yeah, really tough play to get to it if you're anyone, and obviously you see that as it falls right there.
Now 2 balls, 2 strikes, the count's still going to be. But to get a strikeout early on in your outing is going to be a good sign of things to come for Trehan if he can get it done. Here comes the 2-2. Upstairs for ball 3, and we are full. So many full counts in this game. I would say a lot more than you'd usually see. Not necessarily a bad thing, but we've seen a lot more close battles. Here's the payoff pitch. They leave it upstairs for ball 4, and the leadoff man is on. Lanzalotta once again with a free pass. 2 walks today and a hit by a pitch. He has been easily able to consistently get on. And now that'll bring in Charlie Brunner. Brunner so far has reached on an error and on a fielder's choice. Good block behind the dish for ball 1. But if you are forced, you have to get a little bit more aggressive in this game. They're still passively watching balls, which right now is a good thing. But if it's close, you got to attack.
Yeah, exactly. You got to put a swing on it. Got to make the fielders make a play.
I don't want to call it indifference, but indifference is not going to win you this game.
That is true. I mean, yes, I do understand if they're throwing balls, you just wait until they're going to throw your strike. But then when they throw you that strike, you have to pounce on it, and you got to do everything with it.
2-0 is on the outside edge for strike 1. And that pitch is always going to be called a strike. It has been so often today. They just haven't been able to adjust, and OEB has, and that's the difference. If it's out there again, you have to be willing to drive that down the left field line. This time it hangs more down the plate, and that could have been a great one to turn on. Instead, it's 2-2.
Really good breaking ball there.
Now the question is, does he go with that again, or does he go back to that outside pitch? It's a tough call. But first, the throwback to 1 is not going to be in time. Good work to make sure that he didn't break that 45-degree grace area. If he did, that would have been a balk, but I agree it was not. 2-2. Well off the dish for ball 3, and we are full.
You know who's really good at that? Not breaking that plane and still having an elite pickoff mood? Max Fried. So many times this year. I mean, he's just picked countless runners off of first base. Every time they like to argue that it is a balk. However, he's been in the league long enough. He knows what's a balk and what's not, and he just has that down to a science.
3 balls, 2 strikes. Once again, a good move. Not going to get him. Very close over at first.
Very, very close. A lot closer than I thought it should have been. Runner kind of hesitated and then dove back.
And that is why having a lefty on the mound is so dangerous. They have pretty much a free pickoff move they can use every time. Payoff. Hard hit ball right side. Foul.
Just a little bit early on it.
Heavy whack. That one was hanging well upstairs, and I don't even know if early was the right word. I would say a couple business days ahead of schedule. Or he's just trying to wake up his dugout, one of the two. That also could easily be the case. But I don't really think that was the intention. Once again, throwback to 1, not in time. And Force is starting to get a little bit scared on the bases, and a lot of that is because of these throwbacks. You have to be ready for it. You want to get a big lead, yes, but you've almost been picked off already today. Payoff pitch is skied over towards the right side, and it'll be caught for out number 1. A long at-bat finally goes in favor of Ohio Elite.
I think he went breaking ball there on that last pitch, kind of left it over the plate, and then batter just gets too far under it. Ends up with a pop-up in the infield.
Going back to our point about the time limit, it's in 9:53. We have around a half an hour left, and if Force is going to keep playing these innings like this, we might reach that for the 6th. I believe it is only the championship game of each competition that time limit goes away. Fly ball into left field, but foul. I believe you do play a full 7 regardless of the time. The only difference is the time limit still is in effect. So you can lose on the run rule, just not in the time limit. 0-1 the count on Lazar, the EH. 2 walks today for him. But those nuances in tournaments, it's always different across the board. But once you understand those rules and understand how to use them to your advantage, these tournament teams can definitely take advantage. Good drive into left. It is going to fall. And that is a big one-out single for Force's offense. They need something this inning, and that is a solid start.
Need a couple more of those, too, though.
And they will now bring in Mikan. Mikan was the starting pitcher. Fielder's choice and a walk to his name so far, along with a stolen base. But now he needs a little bit of power behind his swing. Swing and a miss, 0-1. Good wave, just not going to make contact. We've seen that swing from him a couple of times. He's definitely pulling off of it. Have to keep the head straight on, and same with the shoulders. Trehan steps off. Light look back over at second base, but no offering. And Ohio Elite, they're having the game slowed down in front of them. They're starting to slow it down defensively, which is really surprising, but I like that move from them. Their offense playing fast, but the defense, they're allowing Force to set the tempo, and they're really bringing the game to them now. 1-1 strike the count. Could see a bunt potentially as well. Instead, he's going to drive that one into right. It is going to drop in front of the right fielder, and that is going to load up the bases for Logan Ritchie. And a prime time for Force Ohio to get back in this game. It is the tying run stepping in. Wouldn't be surprised to see a mound visit soon. You really cannot bring in a third pitcher in this game if you are OEB. Still plenty of time for Treehand, but did you take Filippelli out too early? Pitch count makes it tough.
Yeah.
But otherwise, he did have their number. I will give him that. But now a chance for Force Ohio to make this one a really close game. And that is going to help. Good drive deep to left center field. It is going to be caught in the gap for out number 2. That'll keep 2 on, but that is going to bring in run number 3 on the sac fly. Now they need more. But that's a good start.
Absolutely.
Now a 3-run game. If Jansen can drive 1, make it a 2-run game. Keep it competitive. That's what you have to do here. And for Ohio Elite, bringing Deutsch, Stacy, and Filippelli up in the next inning, they have to slam the door. If they don't slam it there, I think Force Ohio has enough to get back in this game as they're starting to finally wake up the bats. A couple of powerful drives. If they can hit a gap, then that will change this one.
Question is, though, is it too little too late?
I feel like there's enough time, but if the offense does not remain consistent, then I think yes. But I feel like you have, what would that be, 7 outs to play with? Needing 3 runs, bring in 1 more this inning. You need to run an inning, and that breakdown makes it a lot more realistic. The winner of this game does take out the Ohio Bison at 10:45. But once again, Cam, we go back to that time limit, too little, too late.
Yeah.
Is there enough time? And yes, we're talking about time in the game of baseball. Is there enough left to make something happen? If this inning goes to 10:05, 2-run game, OEB kind of slows it down. 6th is it.
Yeah.
Lead runner goes. Now the trail. It is a double steal. They go for the out at 2, and they don't get it. The tag is not applied.
I think he just got around that.
I think he avoided it too. Just barely behind. And now an even better opportunity for Jansen. He does represent the tying run here. And an opportunity for the bases to load as well. And therefore a strike. Late decision, but the expanded zone, he does get the nod. On the on-deck circle for Force, it is Grant Lonzak. Still an opportunity for Force. 3-1. They leave it upstairs, and the bases are loaded for Grant Lonzak. What an opportunity for the catcher.
Close pitch. Close pitch.
One of the biggest at-bats of his summer so far. An opportunity to change this game, potentially tie it up for Force, and a chance to really put himself on the map at Nordonia. And that, I feel like, has to be a big goal. He is the oldest player on this roster by grade level, as he is a rising junior. So no better time than now. Lonzak takes the first one in there for strike 1. So far today, the catcher has grounded out to the pitcher and flown out to Deutsch in left. Power in left center, and that could change it. Ground ball to the right side, scoops up at first. It is a nice play, and he is just a tad late at the bag, and the side is retired. Eberly once again with a nice snag. Without that, 6-4, potentially 6-5.
Yeah, would have been a very, very close play at first. Still ended up being a really close play, but great play over there by the first baseman.
Middle of 5 in the heart of Akron. It is Ohio Elite up 6-3 on Force Ohio. Stick with us after this game goes final, and following our final commercial break, then we will announce our player of the game presented by the Healthiest You Chiropractic Center. Experiencing pain of any kind? Call a timeout and stop by the Healthiest You Chiropractic Center. There, Dr. Max or Dr. Stephanie will provide a top-tier adjustment. Then you'll unwind in their therapy room. Visit their website at www.thychiro.com or call 440-238-3338 and book an appointment today. The Healthiest You Chiropractic Center, keeping Strongsville pain-free since 2013. Looking to get in shape and join a great community? Look no further than CrossFit Strongsville. We offer classes taught by our amazing staff of coaches. If going solo is more your speed, stop in for our open gym hours. Visit our website at CrossFitStrongsville.com to learn more and view our schedule. Visit our new location at 12608 Alameda Drive in Strongsville. Strongsville CrossFit, you're worth it. You deserve to be healthier and happier.
Ohio Elite had a slight scare in the top of the fifth, and now in the bottom they look to sure up this win. 6-3 the score. This has been a very interesting game, very much back and forth, and I don't think the score does this one justice, just showing how close of a game we have. I feel like this has the landscape and the making of a one-run game, but once again, three-run game. 2-0 on the outside edge for strike one. It is Chase Deutsch, Breck Stacy, and Zach Filippelli, 2, 3, and 4 this inning for Ohio Elite. The 2-1 just out of the catcher's glove for ball three. Once again, they have the bases loaded in the top of the fifth. Second time today, they've had the bases loaded to end an inning and just couldn't get the job done. 3-1 up and in for ball four, and Deutsch will reach for the first time today. But was that their last opportunity?
It might have been, depending on the time limit especially.
I think they'll have one more set of ups, given that we have maybe 20 minutes. But given how that offense operates, I don't think we see the seventh for them. If we do, it means the time limit has been thrown out. But we will also see what Ohio Elite does here, as if they score 5 runs, they could end it. Not saying that is a likely outcome, but their offense has been strong today. It has pretty much come in a bunch of bursts. And we'll see if it happens again here. It is down the line in left, almost staying in the infield. Throw to 3, not in time. 2 runners in scoring position. And on a ball that barely stayed fair, could have gone foul. We have 2 runners in scoring position.
Technically, that's a double. Very, very close play on third. We're going to watch it back here. I initially thought he was out. You can kind of see.
Oh.
I thought he was out. I thought he was out.
That angle is not forgiving. Second time at third, that angle does not do any favors to our 2 compadres on the diamond calling the shots. That's a tough one, Cam. That's brutal.
Yeah.
I think the last time it did not end up coming out as a run, but this one I think most likely will. You never know, but still, that is a tough, tough call. And once again, that could have been a foul ball. He let it go, and in the end, that was the wrong choice. The 1-0 is off the plate for ball 2. It is still Mikan in on the mound. So that makes me wonder, does Forrest have another pitcher, or is this who they have left? I think you brought up that point early on in the broadcast. I think that was one of your keys of the game, the pitching. Mikan has more strikeouts, but Filippelli got the job done offensively. It's not even the pitching that really told the story for him. Weak rounder to third. They're not going to throw home. No play, and it is a free run for OEB.
Wow.
Too much hesitation, and once again, there is Filippelli driving in a run.
You got to get one there at least. You look home and he is not there. You got to just throw it to first. You got to get one. Instead, he looks behind him, looks for the runner at second, trying to go to third, but retreats wisely back to second.
Good block by Lonzak, 1-0 the counts. It is Maddox Pete in the EH. Hard 90 and a single to his name. Once again, going back to that run rule. this could be a point where OEB slams the door shut and solidifies a win and puts themselves in the championship game against the Ohio Bison, which, albeit they might be from out of town, their jerseys, just looking at them once, kind of remind you of St. Vincent St. Mary.
Yes, they do.
And they do play their home games at Skeeles Field. That is a new thing under Coach Shepard. He has had 2 great years there. We'll talk more about St. V's and just everything that program has undergone in the last couple of years once we see Pytash and Boykin in the championship game later on today for the 16U division. But I think we both agree that what St. V's has become since Holy Name beat them in 23 to now is tremendous.
Absolutely.
That loss was the best thing that could have happened to that program. Here comes the 3-0, and it will hit for strike 1. And same with Coach Shepard. He is another great thing that happened for them.
100%. I mean, you look back on it, you wouldn't want to have anyone else calling the shots.
And he is a University of Akron alum from 2001. Nobody covering at first. They will get the lead runner at third for an out. Good heads-up play, but otherwise that would have been a tough one at first.
Really heads-up play by the pitcher. Immediately got it, spun around, immediately threw it to third.
And now it is Jaden Pitzo, the catcher, stepping in. 2 free passes today. One the hard way, one the easy way. More painful and non-painful. Still an opportunity to drive in a pair, depending on where he places this. We've seen a couple of big hits, also a couple of errors in this game. My question is this style of baseball from OEB maintainable in a championship? Fly ball now popped more than anything on the infield, caught at second for out number 2. But allowing the bases loaded so often, those long innings where the defense has to make a spectacular play to get out of it. The offense is doing their part, but is that end of it sustainable?
Only time will tell. I mean, if they're able to punch their way to the championship game.
And I feel like that's a tough question to ask about a team that's up by 4, a team that won their final pool play game to jump over this Force team to become the 2 seed from the 4 seed. But those big questions are going to be asked of them in that championship game. The championship game is the biggest test that you're going to have. You could have passed with flying colors your first 4 or 5 games, but that last hurdle, always a different beast, and we've seen championships go in completely different directions than what we expected.
The big thing I talked about earlier, keys to the game, depends what pitchers you have.
And going to your number 2 guy at the point that they did is a bold move. Now a 2-2 count here on Sharver.
That's the key thing of being the 1 seed, not having to play that first game, not having to use an arm. You got probably 1 or 2 more saved up that you're really looking to hammer home. If you need maybe a third, but you probably don't have a lot of arms.
2 balls, 2 strikes, the count. The pitch. Blocked for ball 3, and we are full. The runners will be in motion on the pitch. But going back to that, this is an invite. There's a little added pressure on top of that. You're selected to be here. You're here because you're one of the best teams in your age group. You have to prove it. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Runners go. Payoff.
Whoa.
Hits him in the head. The helmet is off. And
Did you say foul ball?
I think he did. And he is not doing good off of the side. A hard hit off of the helmet. As Sharver gets a 10-2, we will step aside on SmeeSports. 7-3, your score. Sharver able to get off of the diamond with some help from the coaches. Off screen, he did stumble, and I think that is a pretty much clear-cut sign of concussion.
Yeah, pretty much.
And hopefully he will be okay. Just awful to see, especially down the stretch in the summer. We'll see if he comes back again, but obviously the main priority is his health. Best wishes to him. First pitch now to Eberle is a ball. 1-0 the count. Eberle doubled his last time up. And it is Julian Ivey, the rising sophomore at Hudson, now in to run for him, and most likely in to play third base. And with that move, the bench has been cleared. The only guy that you can now have in rotation is Filippelli if he wants to re-enter. 2-0 off the plate for ball 3. And even more so, bases loaded. A walk here brings in run number 8. If you can get the run rule here, not have to play the 6th inning, that gives your guys a chance to rest. 3-0 off the plate for ball 4. 4 quick pitches, and it is now 8-3. And now a chance for Trehan to slam the door shut. And we talk about it so often, teams getting to that 7-run lead, 1 run shy of the run rule, and just falling at that final hurdle. And when they do, it happens so often, the opponent gets right back in it. It's a weird anomaly, but when their number gets called and they're down to their last life, all of a sudden something changes. And now there is going to be some action in the Forest bullpen as they look to keep their hopes alive. First pitch down low for ball 1. And I think this is Mikan's last batter. It's going to have to be. Time now called.
Oh. That's not what you want on the first pitch of a bullpen. Ball ended up on the field.
But I think this is going to be a mound visit to try and buy time for the starting pitcher to kind of try and get this one done and give time for the relief pitcher to warm up. And the throwback is going to ping into the diamond.
Well, not the best use of the mound visit to try and get your pitcher warmed up. They threw 1 pitch, and it went all the way over the backstop pretty much.
Sometimes that happens with just control early on, and number 2 looks a lot better. It just happens sometimes where you lose control on the first pitch. It's a bad omen, yes, but you can work out of it. And that's why there's not any angry Red Sox fans yelling, "That's a ball, Garrett," right in front of you. Add that on top of it, then that's a different story. The 1-0 is going to connect. Now 1-1 the count. Time now 10-13, so all signs are pointing towards the 6th being the final frame. Grounder down the right field line, foul. Now 1-2. We did see a play last week where a ball was fielded in front of the bag. They thought it went foul. They were touching foul territory. They played it, and it was a free base. And that was in a very, very close game. Here comes the 1-2. It is upstairs, and we are even. Next inning for Forest Ohio with what could be their final ups. It is Soder, Gallup, and Saul. Unconfirmed final ups, but all signs are pointing towards that being the case. Runners go. Fly ball pops up, and it is going to be caught. And the side is retired. I thought that was 2-2, and he ran.
I am not really sure.
Either way, nice catch behind the dish from Lonzak, and the inning is over. A pair of runs score for Ohio Elite, and that should be enough to solidify their advantage. As we flip to the 6th inning, it is OEB, the number 2 seed, up 8-3 on Forest Ohio. This is the 2025 Zips invite on SmeeSports in partnership with the 965 Midwest Challenge.
Matatanis Baseball is holding tryouts for their 10U to 13U teams and are looking for dedicated players ready to grow and compete. Join them on July 15th at 6:30 p.m. for their 10U tryouts at the Maplewood Baseball Field in Cleveland, at 5:30 p.m. for their 13U tryouts at the North Ridgeville High School Baseball Field. At Matatanis Baseball, they prioritize player development, helping athletes improve their skills, baseball IQ, and confidence on and off the field. Whether you're looking to elevate your game or take the next step in your baseball journey, Matatanis is the place to be. Experiencing pain of any kind? Call a timeout and stop by the Healthiest You Chiropractic Center. There, Dr. Max or Dr. Stephanie will provide a top-tier adjustment. Then you'll unwind in their therapy room. Visit their website at www.thychiro.com or call 440-238-3338 and book an appointment today. The Healthiest You Chiropractic Center, keeping Strongsville pain-free since 2013.
Potentially the final chance for Force Ohio to take something out of this game. Down by 5 as we enter the top of the 6th. They need one heck of an inning here. And it will be a good start as the first pitch will miss off the plate for ball 1. It is Soder, Gallup, and Saul, 8, 9, and 10, trying to keep the game going for the number 3 seed. Even if they do bow out here, a very valiant effort in this game, a good effort in the tournament. They could have had the dream start, getting some runs on the board early. But when they had that chance, they just couldn't get the job done. And I'm sure when they look back at this game's film, that is going to be the turning point that they look at. And if they do practice more of a win, most likely as they are a tournament team, they're going to figure out, okay, what do we need to change to get those early runs on the board, to give us that early boost, to give us a really good chance to win some games, especially in these tight quarters. 2-1 misses up for ball 3. Once again, assuming the time limit does kind of conform to what we expect, we do have around 7 minutes left to go. Fly ball sent into left field. Deutsch moves a few steps over towards the side, and he is able to make the catch for out number 1. A simple put out from Deutsch out and left. He has been called upon a number of times today, Cam. Not much movement out there, but he is making the plays.
Yeah, he's making the routine plays, and that's really all you ask of him when the plays go to him like that.
And with 1 down, that'll bring in George Gallup. One heck of a battle his last time up. And the battle this time starts with a strike. 0-1 the count. Stick with us when this one goes final, as we will have game number 2 of the day. It is the Ohio Bison taking on the winner of this game, which right now appears to be Ohio Elite. And then the winner of that game would be named the champions of the 15U division at this Zips invite. Hit up the middle. It is off of Treehand's glove, and it is going to die in no man's land. Hard hit right at him. Just couldn't bring it in. Now time is going to be called. As time is called, we will watch it back on the replay. Really hard hit.
Yeah.
It was in the glove before it wasn't. And there you go. It's out. Tough one there. I think Treehand stays in here. I think they give him time, and this also could be time to kind of push towards that time limit. That's the gamesmanship you add on here. Up by 5. You have already had one of your key players go down with a big injury. You don't want to play this one more than you have to. And I think that's fair.
Yeah.
You want this one to last just around that 2-hour mark. You couldn't get the run rule done. You were close, just couldn't get those final pieces put in place. And I'm sure that is something that they will take with them to the championship game. Treehand's throwback to 1 is going to be late. More of a warning shot, but I think we're going to see it more here. Especially, once again, that time limit. You hate to keep bringing it up, but that is a real aspect of this game. This is kind of like the 4th quarter. You have 3 minutes on the clock. You don't have enough to simply just take a knee and let the game roll. You're going to have to just keep running the ball and letting the clock run down.
You don't have any timeouts. No stoppages.
That also does help. The 0-1 in there, now 0-2. And I feel like their offense is really going to have to change up their approach and work slower. But even if they don't, we do play the 7th. This defense has shown more than enough prowess in this game to really give us the confidence that they can get it done. The 0-2 down the left field line, but foul. as well. Stick with us after this game goes final, and following our final commercial break, then we will announce our player of the game presented by the Healthiest You Chiropractic Center. A lot of good candidates so far. We will see who ends up walking away with those honors in our first game of 4 today. No balls, 2 strikes. Trehan taking a little bit of extra time on the mound. The pitch, wave and a miss, and there is out number 2. Nice pitch from Trehan. That'll be his first strikeout of the game. And on top of that, that is the second strikeout recorded today by Ohio Elite's pitching staff. The other one was also recorded against Saul. Back to the top we go with Lanzalata. First pitch to the lefty is off the dish for ball 1. But this game has been a very telling performance. Ohio Elite showing they have that it factor about them offensively. And once their defense settled in, they have really played a lot of good baseball. I would say better than we thought that we were going to see from them given how the game started.
Exactly. That's exactly what I was going to say, especially with, like you said, how the game started. Kind of a little shaky, but probably just still waking up with that early first pitch.
And that is why that early start, like I said, was so important. You have to be awake from the first pitch, no matter if you started at 8:30, 5:30, or like we saw last night, a random game ending at 2 a.m. You have to be ready to play no matter the time of day. 2-0 is going to hit for strike 1. We talked to Coach Gambetta of Premier Ohio last week after they won a championship and talked about the different times of the games as his first game was moved up by an hour pretty much. And he said, our guys are trained to be ready to play no matter the time. And that is really a big reason why they were so successful. I believe now they're in Indiana at a big tournament, and they made it to the silver bracket as a really big underdog. They don't have the biggest roster size, but they have a lot of heart. And that is a nice thing about some of these big organizations. You have maybe 12, 13 guys, but if those 12, 13 guys buy in and are ready to fight game in and game out, you have a shot to win every tournament you're in. 3-1 is going to hit top of the strike zone for strike 2. And we are full. A chance here for Trehan to solidify the defense one last time. But first, he will step off. And now some kind of instruction was just given to the first baseman, and I think that was, don't hold the runner. He is going to be off anyway. There's no point in holding him on. He goes, payoff pitch. It is popped up, and this one is going to go foul. Don't know where that one ended up hitting.
Probably just beyond the sidewalk behind us over the box.
I didn't hear the loud thud like I thought we were going to hear on top on the deck.
Thought it was going to hit on top.
Haven't had that happen yet this week. Payoff again. Driven foul now towards the track. Once again, the next game, 10:45 scheduled first pitch. I would expect now at around 10:50 to 10:55 we get that one rolling. I don't think 10:45 is realistic, but it could be depending on if the game ends here or not. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Trehan tries again, and once again it is fouled away. I'll give a lot of credit to Forest Ohio. They have fought throughout this entire game, not giving up and not taking any pitch off.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, just good job. But like I said before, kind of just a little bit too late getting that offense just barely starting up. It's now officially 10:25.
And that should be enough for this one to end here, assuming that is what we go with. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Once again, we go. Pops up this time on the infield. Trehan calls it off, and he will make the play to retire the side. And we will see if they call it there or if we will end up playing the bottom of the 6th inning. Ohio Elite thinks the game is done. We will see what Forest Ohio ends up doing. And they are going to the line, and that is going to seal it. Ohio Elite is going to win this one. 8-3 your final. And we are going to wait here for the handshake line to begin, and there it is. A big win for Ohio Elite as the players exchange pleasantries. We will step aside one final time, then return to announce our player of the game presented by the Healthiest You Chiropractic Center.
Experiencing pain of any kind? Call a timeout and stop by the Healthiest You Chiropractic Center. There, Dr. Max or Dr. Stephanie will provide a top-tier adjustment. Then you'll unwind in their therapy room. Visit their website at www.thychiro.com or call 440-238-3338 and book an appointment today. The Healthiest You Chiropractic Center, keeping Strongsville pain-free since 2013. Looking to get in shape and join a great community? Look no further than CrossFit Strongsville. We offer classes taught by our amazing staff of coaches. If going solo is more your speed, stop in for our open gym hours. Visit our website at CrossFitStrongsville.com to learn more and view our schedule. Visit our new location at 12608 Alameda Drive in Strongsville. Strongsville CrossFit, you're worth it. You deserve to be healthier and happier. Matatanes Baseball is holding tryouts for their 10U to 13U teams and are looking for dedicated players ready to grow and compete. Join them on July 15th at 6:30 p.m. for their 10U tryouts at the Maplewood Baseball Field in Cleveland, or on July 16th at 5:30 p.m. for their 13U tryouts at the North Ridgeville High School Baseball Field. At Matatanes Baseball, they prioritize player development, helping athletes improve their skills, baseball IQ, and confidence on and off the field. Whether you're looking to elevate your game or take the next step in your baseball journey, Matatanes is the place to be.
A 3-year final score in game number 1 of the day. Ohio Elite takes down Force Ohio. Your player of the game presented by the Healthiest You Chiropractic Center. It is the Padua Bruin, Zach Filippelli, at the plate today. A double, a single, and an RBI, fielder's choice on the mound. 1 strikeout, 4 innings of work, and he was your winning pitcher. Cam, you need pitching to win games. Amid so many difficult situations today, he never wavered from his resolve, and because of that, we will see OEB once again in the championship game.
Yeah, definitely a couple times where it was a little shaky. Had a couple of walks, a couple of hit by pitches, but really good job working around those, and good job in the batter's box, getting a couple of those RBIs and those key hits.
As we wrap up our first broadcast of the day, to stay up to date on all the games that we are covering, follow SmeeSports on Instagram and SmeeFist2024 on Twitter. As well, go down below and subscribe. There is no cost associated to it, but if you do so, it greatly helps out all that we do. Same with leaving a like rating. If you want to help out in a monetary fashion, you have 2 options. Number 1, become a broadcast sponsor. Thank you to the Healthiest You Chiropractic Center, CrossFit Strongsville, and Matatanes Baseball for sponsoring today's broadcast. Matatanes Baseball is holding their tryouts Tuesday and Wednesday, so if you do have a 10U to 13U player, make sure you go and tap in with them. They are very well ran, a very good organization with a lot of great players and great coaches. It's a great opportunity for the younger players to elevate their game. But join their ranks by contacting us at one of those avenues on your screen, or you can leave us a monetary donation on our website at SmeeSports.com. We do have a donation tab. You can go under there, leave a one-time or reoccurring tip/donation for us. It is greatly appreciated, not required, but all donations not only help out the SmeeSports YouTube channel, but the SmeeSports family of social media pages and SmeeSports LLC as a whole. Game number 2 about to get underway at around 10:45. It is going to be Ohio Elite taking on Ohio Bison in the 15U championship game. He's Cam Ragazzo. I am Nathan Smee saying so long for now from Skeeles Field on the campus of the University of Akron, and we will see you again in a few moments. This has been the 2025 Zips Invite on SmeeSports in partnership with the 965 Midwest Challenge.